Meet financial guru Marty Whitman, whose company, Third Avenue Management, of which he is the founder, chairman, and co-chief investment officer, oversees $8 billion in assets. But you'd never know it. This is a man who hates suits and ties, walks 3 miles to work, shops at Kmart, and treats his employees like family. Marty is, as everyone will attest to, an anomaly in the financial world, and that's for 2 reasons. First, he chose down-and-dirty investment specialties that no one else would touch and became wildly successful.
When I went into business for myself, there were really only 2 areas that in those days no respectable investment banker would touch, and I went into both areas: stockholder litigation and bankruptcy. My wildest dreams, I never thought I'd be as financially successful as I turned out to be.
Secondly, in his rise to the top, Marty never lost himself or his ethical principles.
He's very comfortable with himself. And actually, in his work, he's very atypical on Wall Street because he's smart, he's honest, and he's not greedy.
He embodies everything that you'd ever want to have in an investment professional: integrity, intelligence, just a thirst and a quest for always learning more.
Marty that brain is never asleep for 30 seconds. He's constantly thinking about things, coming up with ideas.
Over the years, one of Marty Whitman's specialties has been value investing, of which he has been a pioneer, but Marty labels it safe and cheap, which captures in a nutshell his principles of investing in common stock.
And by safe, we want to find a company that has strong financial position, a very strong balance sheet, a company with a lot of cash, a company without a lot of liabilities.
Cheapness really comes from trying to buy at a discount to what we think the company is worth.
Whitman's safe and cheap philosophy enables him to take advantage when others are running scared.
But I can remember in sort of the very ugliest moments that I've seen in the marketplace. You think of October of 1998, stocks were cratering, long-term capital management was blowing up, and Marty's just like a kid in a candy shop. He's jogging into the trading room, pounding the desk, ordering 1 million shares of this and 1 million shares of that, and just loving it. Every downtick is beautiful for him.
Marty also has a reputation as a tiger who can turn a company around in his other specialty, distressed debt investing, which means acquiring businesses in Chapter 11 bankruptcy, returning them to profitability, and then reselling at a profit or holding on. Kmart is a case in point where Marty helped formulate a solid financial plan that enabled the retail giant to emerge from bankruptcy.
A lot of people were betting against the survival of Kmart and even its ability to emerge from Chapter 11. And not only has it done that, but it's thrived since it's exited Chapter 11.
Whitman is really a teacher at heart, and his catchy slogans like safe and cheap and sleep at night factor capture his straightforward investment dogma, which he drills into the minds of all his colleagues, and which have delivered for the lifetime of his Third Avenue Value Fund an annual return of 16.5%.
When I showed Marty an idea, and he came to me and said, "Curtis, I think you're straying from the ranch," like I was a loose cattle. It kind of lets us know when he thinks we're not sticking to the discipline.
This safe and cheap, this heavy reliance on documents, this being well-trained, makes life easy. I'm one of the few people on Wall Street who's been there for a long time, who's never lost a night's sleep.
The thing he taught us as a group, not only me personally, is, do things with your head. Think with your head, not over it. Buy what you can afford. Think things more thoroughly from an economic point of view.
He's respected, frankly, as an academician now. I think his academic theories are valid, and they're getting a hearing, and they're getting worked over by some pretty potent chaps.
Whitman has written 2 books about his theories of investment. He's been a featured story in many financial publications, and he has spent the last 30 years teaching as Distinguished Management Fellow at Yale School of Management. Even the most prestigious call Marty for help.
Whenever I get a difficult problem involving banking or securities, I talk to him, and I mean, he can read a financial statement like other people read the funny papers.
But what makes Marty Whitman smile the most are the accomplished lives of his family. His legacy to the world?
My children, they're terrific.
Lois Whitman, who at age 46 went back to law school, has made her mark as well as the founding director of the Human Rights Watch Children's Program.
We investigate abuses against kids around the world, and we try to take steps to end them, or at least to make them better.
Marty Whitman got his start at Syracuse University. As a returning Navy veteran from World War II, he graduated magna cum laude in 1949 through the GI Bill, a type of affirmative action which has inspired Marty and Lois Whitman ever since.
We both feel that education is really key. The only way for people to have a stake in life and to be able to get out of poverty and out of bad situations is to be educated.
I think it's elementary, is part of being civilized. If you get wealth, you owe some of it back.
And some of Marty's payback has come to Syracuse University in the form of a generous naming gift, one of the largest ever. The business school will now be called the Martin J. Whitman School of Management.
I have dreams of glory, but we'll make the Whitman School one of the top 10.
With Marty deciding to name the school, it gives us instant credibility within the markets that he works in, which is the financial markets. He believes in the value of our program enough that he gives his name to it, and Marty's reputation is impeccable.
The Whitmans have previously endowed several minority scholarships in the School of Management and also contributed to its new building. Marty's recent naming gift, which specifically goes towards academic programs coupled with the new management building, will change the face of the school forever.
His goal wasn't just to give the gift. His goal was to be involved. He comes and he teaches courses. He loves to meet with students. He's always wanted to meet with alumni. It's the whole package.
He never loses sight of what he is, and he never loses sight of what he wants. And he wants to make a contribution to this world.
Martin J. Whitman, the son of Polish immigrants, child of the Great Depression, entrepreneur and financial guru, is the embodiment of the American dream. By taking the road less traveled, this original thinker and strategist has turned the stubble of Wall Street into gold. And in true generosity of spirit, is making it count for others.